guys, I know this just looks like a box for now, but it is certainly gonna turn into something fun, so stick around. I'm doing a little Halloween vlog, so I've never done a vlog before, and I've never done anything like this before, so stick around, it should be fun, and may everything be spooky. So here we are, guys. I really wanted to get something that screamed Halloween, but also could double as a Christmas tree. I was smart about it because they had this in orange and purple also, but I really wanted to get something that I could use like 6 months out of the year. I absolutely love it. Of course, she's not through, so I will continue showing you guys the process once we're getting that far. All right, guys, I got another phase done. I got some lights on her. How cute is this tree? I'm probably gonna get another strand of lights to put on it just because I don't feel like she's bright enough, but so far I absolutely love it. I love the way it's turning out. I've got a lot more work to do and some other stuffs, but this is so freaking cute. I'm so excited. Oh, it's so good. See you guys in a bit. This is how we're doing, guys. I'm very, very excited. Everything's coming along together very nicely. Still have a lot of work to do. This is not everything. Still have a lot more stuff to put up and really fill out the space and really start to make it spooky. Since we're talking about things Halloween all year, I've always been obsessed with the monster cereals, and these are hanging up in my kitchen. These have been here for years. They're my absolute favorites. Count Chocula is definitely my favorite cereal monster character. What is your all's favorite? Hello, ghouls and goblins. You will see that I have my Halloween setup complete. Now, I don't really go all out for Halloween because I kind of celebrate Halloween all year. So this was like a lot for me. I love how it looks. My dad back here that you see, he's usually on another wall all year round. So, and you can't see, but the red in him has like glitter. It's from a vintage like signed Halloween shop. I will link their store in the description because they sell spooky stuff all year round. Anyways, welcome to our YouTube Halloween extravaganza. Myself and Yota and Dawn and Devin, we are all making Halloween videos, so please check them out. I will leave theirs in the description box. Words. So, I know that we're all doing something very, very different. I just kind of want to sit around and, like, be awesome and talk about Halloween and why I love it so much and things like that. So, I've got my little pumpkin earrings on. I've got the Master of Horror. And, yeah, so let's talk about it. So, my birthday is, as you know, it's like right before Halloween, so it's just been a very natural like way of life for me or whatever. I never had regular like birthday cakes growing up. I always had like my favorite birthday cake growing up was it was like a, remember whenever people used to make birthday cakes but they were like molds of stuff. Well, my favorite cake one year was like a black cat with a witch hat on, and whenever you cut into it, it was like strawberry jam was inside of it. Listen, 80s and 90s cakes were wild. Anyway, so yeah, it's just always been a part of my being or whatever. I wear Halloween socks all year, almost every single day. I've just always loved the general spirit. This is my favorite to this day, my favorite Halloween costume. I was like 6 maybe. This is the house that we grew up in. The statue behind me in the photo was the scariest part of my childhood because our house was dark after everybody would go to bed, and we would come like down the stairs into the foyer, and then there would just be this armor statue, this dilapidated armor statue, and it used to always scare us as kids. But yeah, that was probably to this date my favorite Halloween costume. I have just always loved Spider-Man, and those kinds of like vinyl costumes with the mask that's kind of like this, they were like the creepiest and the best at the same time. As far as like horror movies and Halloween movies and things like that, my grandparents pretty much like watched me as a kid. My dad would be off working, and my mom would sometimes work third shift, and my grandparents wouldn't go to bed till like 3 or 4 in the morning. And even now in their 80s, they still go to bed at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And I would never go to sleep until my mom would get home from work. So my earliest memories as a child, being like 5 or 6, are Legend, Poltergeist, The Exorcist, Beastmaster, and the original Amityville Horror. Like, as those are my earliest childhood memories. Not, you know, going on vacation, or not even like trick-or-treating as a kid. Like, those are just like the earliest memories I have. And that's something that has stayed with me my entire life. Just loving horror, loving, you know, things that are scary. I've never really been a fan of like Jason or Freddy or Michael Myers or Chucky, because I just never thought they were scary. I've always thought that they were like stupid. So I've always been into like, you know, the ghosts and goblins and the devil and, you know, things like that. So, and also even like now in my adulthood, it's like really hard for me to be scared like watching a movie, like a, you know, a horror movie. Me and my husband, we've, between Amazon and Netflix and Hulu and Prime and Shudder, we've seen like every horror movie on there, and it's really hard for me to see something and be excited or be scared. I will say some of my favorite horror movies of all time are definitely Poltergeist 1 and 2, the original Amityville, like I said. Legend, it's not really a horror movie, but it's like Tim Curry's finest role. I know if you're into Rocky Horror, or, you know, him being the original Pennywise, you might argue with me on that, but I think Tim Curry in Legend as the devil is just one of the campiest and most wonderful things in cinema. So like recent movies, like in the last like decade or so. Oh, and all the original Hellraiser movies, definitely like I, was raised on those movies. Also, as far as like the last like 2 decades or so, like the last 20 years, the original Scream got me pretty good. Um, I love The Haunting in Connecticut. Anything in the Ed and Lorraine like universe, really, 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 really love. Except Annabelle, again, for the same reason that I never liked Chucky or anything. I don't think dolls are scary. Never didn't really do it for me, but there's a movie called The Void, and I think it's on Shudder or Amazon. It's one of the most effed up movies out there. It's so good. It's scary. It's like it doesn't rely on a lot of like CGI. There's a lot of like 80s reference horror things going on. It's fantastic. My husband can no longer watch it with me, and I'm just like this the whole time. Every time I watch it, I think it's one of the best well done horror sci-fi genre movies probably in the last 20 years, honestly. Like it's up there with The Blob and The Fly. Like it's just it's amazing. What else is there? We've had a lot of remakes and a lot of horror sequels this year. My opinion, they were all terrible. Halloween Ends, crap. The Candyman reboot, remake, sequel, I thought it was awful. The new Hellraiser movie that just came out, awful. Yeah, I just like originals in the way that they were done and the way that directors used to scare us and things like that. I really it's not a horror movie, but on obviously The Nightmare Before Christmas has been a huge impact on my life. I remember seeing it in theaters, and it's a movie that I just always gravitated towards. Because I always felt like a weirdo in school and stuff, and I got picked on and stuff. So that was whenever I was being bullied in school. I always knew there were a couple times a year until I got the VHS as a kid. I always knew that there were a few times a year that I kind of like could relate to something or someone else out there. So, yeah, I've got some pretty awesome Halloween memories that I'll throw up for you guys, other than other than my amazing Spider-Man costume. Sorry. Other than my amazing Spider-Man costume, I was very fortunate enough to meet Kathy and Jimmy 6 years ago. And it's so wild because whenever I met her, of course, she's one of the most kind people that I've ever met. And we talked about, would there be a Hocus Pocus 2? And just to now see it 6 years later that it's, came through to the fruition. And, it was, no, of course, it wasn't as good as the first, but it was such a cute movie. I think they did the first one justice, and the music was good, and Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker, they were fantastic, of course. But somebody else that I met before that, a few years prior to that, they always say, don't meet your idols, or don't meet people that you look up to or whatever, because they're just gonna be a disappointment. Well, a few years before I met Kathy, I met Doug Jones. he played Billy Butcherson in the original Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus 2. He there's a movie that came out about 10 years ago called Legion. Basically it's about, you know, the Michael the Archangel, he like comes down and like messes shit up, and it's just a big old mess, and there's like possessed people, and it's amazing. But Doug Jones plays this minute, small character in the movie called the Ice Cream Man, and he's one of the most terrifying characters that I've ever seen in a movie, and it's just beautiful and disgusting, and it's like my favorite part of the entire movie. And his character is only in the movie for about 30 seconds. That's just what an impact that his character makes in the movie. Also, he played the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, and even though that movie did not do well, I thought him playing that character was amazing. I'm, you know, just such a Marvel nerd, and I have always loved the Silver Surfer. And anyway, what I was trying to get at, and he's been in like Pan's Labyrinth. His IMDb page is so long. He's just played all these wonderful monsters and things. He was in Hellboy like through the years that you probably wouldn't even know that it was him. He's been in so many things, but he's one of my absolute favorite actors. And whenever I met him, life-changing. I get like choked up whenever I talk about it, because he's one of the kindest, sweetest, most generous human beings that I've ever met in my life, and he meets hundreds and hundreds of fans. So like my interaction with him may not have like meant a whole lot, but for me it changed my entire life. So that's really cool. So yeah, I don't have a lot else other than that. I just wanted to share why I love Halloween so much with all of you. And of course, I can't talk about Halloween or the season without showing you all my Halloween accessories. These are from the Coach outlet from last year, and it's the little ghost, the candy corn, and the little pumpkin. These are just the cutest with the glitter detail, and they're just so fun, so cute. Coach always doing the damn thing with, you know, collabs and holidays. And I have the little pouch too. Last year I missed the tote. I missed the tote again this year, and also this year they did a really cute bucket, and I missed that, and it's super sad. So maybe next year I can get my hands on that, because anyone who was around for the tote last year, people bought them up and are the resale value on them is like $700. I've seen them as high as like $2,000, and for a bag that's $299, it's just not something that I'm willing to swing. I've had so much fun doing this. Also, I don't really have like any like horror like tattoos or anything, but I do have the plastic vampire teeth tattooed on me, and it's one of my favorite things. And in case you're wondering, yes, these are the OGs from the 90s. They're actually like back at McDonald's, I think, for a limited time if you get a Happy Meal. Video's not sponsored. I just wanted to throw it out there because these were like some of my favorite things growing up. And there's a really long story that I'll get to in like a random video. But long story short, Whenever I was a teenager, my mom threw everything that I owned away, sight unseen, no reason for it. And a lot of that kind of stuff that I loved and brought good memories to my childhood got thrown away. And one of my best friends, Jennifer, she bought all 3 of these for me for my birthday a few years ago. So they're just one of my favorite things, and that's also something else that stays out all year round. It, you know, it doesn't matter. But I'm sorry that I had a hard time getting through some of this. I just love Halloween so much, and it really is a lifestyle, and I love you guys so much. So happy Halloween, stay safe, eat lots of good candy until your teeth ache. Like, subscribe, comment, please share your Halloween stories. What are your favorite memories of the greatest holiday ever? And check out Yota's video, check out Devin's video, and please check out Dawn's video. But I love you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful week. Say something nice to a stranger. Be kind to yourselves. And happy Halloween. I love you guys. Peace.